Hello, I'm Chris, this is Gross Models. Welcome to issue 65 of Building the Terminator T800. So, in this issue, we are adding another part to the lower right leg. The parts this week come in a box, which is lovely. It says, attention, collectible product. This is not a toy, not suitable for children under 14 years. This product forms part of a kit. Follow the instructions indicated in the manual. Must be conducted under supervision of an adult. Read and keep this information. No, nobody keeps the information. So in the box we have, what do we have? That's it. A bag of stuff. I assume it's just to give some protection to this more plastic part that might possibly break if you squeeze it the wrong way. Let's cut the bag open and see what we have. We have more bags. Right. As always with these, they tend to give you an extra screw. Whenever they supply you with screws, they give you one more than you need. So I'm expecting we'll need one of those, and one of those, and one of those. And that's a different bit. I don't know why all these are in bags. I assume because it's not in a big plastic tray like previous issues have been. So let's get these open. And then we'll be able to follow the instructions and do what it says to do. That's exactly the same as the last one that we got by the looks of it. Still not greatly finished. Some edge rough seam lines, but not easy to do anything with the seam line on that. You'd end up having to replate the entire thing. So yeah, not sure what I can do about that. But let's get the knife out of the way for getting rid of potential danger. Right, let's continue with the build. With step one, we are using the bit that we had from last time and basically doing the same again. So we're going to get one of these screws out, and one of them will be kept for later, never going to be used. We're doing exactly the same as we did before with step two, dropping that into there, and step three is screwing that into that through there. We're making sure we get the right hole, so not the one opposite, it's the one the other side of what we did last time. So that goes in there, that goes in there, and we tighten that down. Now, as I mentioned last time, putting a metal screw into a plastic tube, there is the potential for causing damage if you over tighten it. So go till you're tight but not straining. And there we have that. That's the other sort of muscle connector on there. So that does indeed look just like step four. That shows the two parts in one place on either side of 63.2, which is the big bit. Note the notch. There's the notch. I see the notch there. Right, step five. We are taking the leg casting. Note that there's a double tab in the neck. There is indeed up there. Don't know what we're doing with that, but we're taking that and we're fitting it onto there. Basically, we're getting the notch lined up with the double tab, because it only go in that way up, and it goes all the way up to be flush on there. There we go, that was easy. Step 7 is just showing us it flush. Step 8 is using the other bit that does go where I thought it would go, but over the top of this rather than through that. It will fit. Check the larger peg circled is a raised screw socket. Yeah, basically that's got a screw thread in there. These two are just pushed into there. So not sure what that big hole there is for. They obviously decided they weren't going to use that after all in the middle of the design. Let's just check to see. That would be about there. So no, it doesn't even line up with that notch there. Well, for whatever reason, that's not necessary. Not worrying about that. Tricky is getting this through that outside shell piece and lining up with that hole on the inside there that you can see just wobbling about there. So let's get that lined up first. Through there, and then a little bit of jiggling to make sure it lines up through there as well. There we go. Then with that through there, those two should just clip in there. So that's that. Let's have a look over the page at step number 9. It says to glue them in place. Okay, when you're happy with the fit, apply a little bit of glue. Okay, so when you fitted it, undo it so you can fit it again and glue it in place. So basically it's just saying, let's get a little bit of glue out. I was expecting to use the glue now, so I've had it laying down rather than standing up, so it shouldn't take any time for the glue to come out again. It shouldn't, it might, but it's not long enough to actually want to cut to a different camera. So there we go. That's the glue out. So I shall use a small piece of cocktail stick that I had from building one of the wooden kits during the week. I'll put some around the post and around the post. It does say around the edge as well, so we'll get a little bit just sort of in a couple of places around the edge. I don't think that's terribly necessary because it's going to go in there quite snug as is, and you don't want it to seep out from the edges. So now let's see. Now it won't join up again. You watch. You see. There we go. That just joins up in there. So that will sit in there. But while we're waiting for that, why have we got 2 bags of screws in? Let's just have a flick back. See how many screws it said it gave us. It just says, well, I think I've got an extra bag of screws. Yes. So for some reason I've got an extra bag, so I'll just put that to one side as well. That one, we need 1 screw, and they supplied 4 this time, so definitely going to have extra screws left over at the end of this. I need 1 of those, which is going to go in here and just make sure that that holds the outside shell in place. So when that tightens down into there, again going into plastic, so being careful, tightening it down, and there we go. So that's now held in place by a screw that side and some glue up the top there. So I'll just leave that to make sure that sits on there properly. I'll move that to one side and we'll have a look at the rest of the magazine. Going in here we have Stalker. I don't know that one, not heard of that one, but there we go. Traditional sci-fi themes. Yeah, I've got no remembrance of that at all. It's obviously I don't know, it looks Russian. All the names in it are Russian, so yeah. Country of origin, Soviet Union. And then we're talking about the perils of radiation. Bananas and radiation, I don't know. Stalker's obviously about radiation, so they tie it into that a little bit. And then we have the back of the issue saying we'll be back with next week, continuing building the lower right leg, just for a change, because we've not been doing much of the lower right leg apart from all month. So there we go. These are obviously little bits that are going to go onto the exterior here. That's probably the other pistony bit there. More screws, more washers, more stick-on, plant-on details for things. So yes, that issue I shall be filming momentarily and will be available in a day or so. So thank you for watching issue 65. I shall see you soon for 66. Stay safe and thanks for watching. Bye bye.